Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Corpse Party Blood Drive. We beat Chapter 9. It all comes down to this. Chapter 10. The final one. We got Yuka back, although she's not in the best of condition. We seem to have beaten Sachi once and for all. All that seems to be left is to have everyone but Ayumi get out, and Ayumi herself deal with whatever final confrontation there's going to be at the core of the Nirvana. So, reparations. I think I like that name. Aiko and I had progressed through Heavenly Host, guided by the whims of the book, the school changing and shifting around us bit by bit. We were now faced with a peculiarly marked door. And I'm playing. Now here's something that's actually kind of funny. Looks big enough to fit through. I don't see anything complaining about my entering it now. Oh, the courtyard. And a free loose board. Okay. Good. I guess that's it, but does going back take me back to that hole? Or does it actually take me back to the walkway between the schools? Wow, everything's weird. Time and space are warping, man. We're here, we're at Shinozaki's apartment. It's way too quiet right now. Maybe I should take this opportunity to ask a few questions. Jeez.
文学界だけでなく科学、数学、芸能、経営、経済と数々の分野において研究や発表、マネジメントで大成功を収めているわ。
How?
公益財団法人 PL 振興社が一代の社長であそこまで成長しているのもあの人の力。私の家、庭家はあの人の印税で一生かかっても使い切れないほどの財を得ている。けれど、そのせいで家族の絆は完全に断絶した。両親は子育ても働くのも放棄して、姉のお金で海外で遊び回っていて帰ってこないしね。
That's depressing.
そうなんだ。愛子さんはお姉さんのこと好きなの？
あの人は私を大好きみたいだけれど、私は大嫌いよ。昔から全部私の前にレールを敷いてしまうから、私には選ぶ権利も与えられなかった。
I guess I'm reading this. Once, when she and I were out at a shopping mall, looking to buy new underwear, there was an incident while I was trying on a new bra.
私、これが好き。このブラがいいかな。
She just stuck her head into the dressing room, through the curtain.
あら、
And then, as if that weren't bad enough, she came right on in.
ああ、ダメよダメよダメよ。愛ちゃんいい？体に合ったものを身につけないとせっかくのスタイルが崩れてしまうの。まだ若いからといって油断してると年齢を重ねていった時に必ず足かせになる。油断大敵という言葉があるけど、まさに今この時よ。こっちにしなさいね。
She'd left the dressing room for only a moment, but now handed me a luxurious, elegant, lacy bra from the gap between the curtains.
こんなの。
I complained, but I knew I'd eventually have to try it on anyway, so I just broke down and did it.
ほら、やっぱり似合うわ。お姉ちゃんが買ってあげる。愛ちゃんは本当に可愛い。全部お姉ちゃんの言う通りにしなさいね。愛ちゃんはとってもいい子だからわかるよね。ね。
Kuon's smile was so pure and sweet it was almost scary.
衣食住も親の愛情もすべて姉ありき。私の居場所を全部奪ってしまう。姉のせいで自分のない人生がもう何もかも嫌になって自暴自棄になりかけた時、私はレイグと出会い、見せられオカルトに傾倒していった。霊力という姉にはない力を持っていることに興奮して体が震えたわ。これは私が見つけた力、私だけの世界。レグオークションでの売り上げは具体的な数値となって私を高揚させた。なのにあの人はこの世界にまで踏み込んできてあっさりと私の先に立つのよ。忌々しいわ。
そうだったんだ。なんかすごい人なんだね。
まあ本当のところあの人のことは私もよく分かっていない気がする。行き過ぎた正義は悪になる。純粋すぎる悪は人を救済してしまう。世の中をよく見てみて。そうでしょ。一番正しいのは全ての答えではないのよ。きっとね。
Interesting. It's not a wire trap, it's just a barrier. I can see that being rather depressing. And the saddest part is, like, Kuon really does mean well, so you can't really, like, yell at her for it, even though it's all kinds of depressing. So, any more bird skeletons? Oh, get out of here! Okay. Yeah, it's just back in. Okay. This whole universe is freaking bizarre. I could actually go out? There's just no navigating this place anymore. All geography is just nonsensical. There's an eye on the floor. This place is even crazier than I thought. And we might be standing on an ear. Wow, chapter 10 is awesome.
地鳴りがひどいわね。
校舎が崩壊に向かっているのかも。
まさかあの7番目の柱が。
目覚めだ。
So it can talk, other than say Book of Shadows.
誰？
本だわ。ブックオブシャドウズが喋ってる。
涅槃が目を覚ました。
涅槃、コアのこと、魔女の魂が。
我々の接近を感じている。柱も涅槃に反応している。
You saw that ghost for a second there? I'm gonna save again. What was that all about?
愛子さん、どこに行くの？
あれはあの気配は。
Wow, it's you.
やっぱり春雪くん、春雪くんよね。よかった。私あなたに。
Inamaro had been completely overtaken by the darkening, his hatred transforming him into a feral beast. His mouth was now slit on both ends, giving him a disturbing, Ichi the Killer, almost fox-like appearance. With speed and precision, he beelined right for Aiko's neck and, bit deeply into it, with obvious intent to kill. I caught up to the two figures where I found one seemingly trying to eat the other. I brandished the Book of Shadows in front of me like a shield, attempting to intimidate the attacker. Ooh. With one sharp, violent spray of blood, Aiko's head fell clean off. Tears of blood were streaming down from Inamaro's eyes. The beast then turned his focus on me.
みんな死んでしまえ。そうすればまた会える。また元通り友達だ。
Oh, that's not good. Inamaro lunged at me, mouth agape. I didn't even have time to scream. It only took a split second before it was all over. Ooh, probably better that we didn't see that. Damn. That is a wrong end. I brandished the book of, well, attempting to intimidate. We've been over this. Really? Out of the blue, a girl I'd never seen before now stood in the creature's path. She was wearing uniquely designed green pins in her hair. Looking more closely, her body had a slight sheen to it and was partially translucent. The rampaging Inumaro showed no signs of having comprehended Sayaka's words. Now she seemed to have gotten through to him. He stopped biting down on Aiko, releasing his grip ever so slightly. Sayaka's tone had a slight waver to it, belying her harshness. But her berating of Inumaro was working. His eyes were beginning to well up with tears. He was full-on bawling now, and nothing seemed like it could slow his tears. She was less reassuring him and more commanding him. Inumaro released Aiko from his mouth entirely and became very quiet. Aiko's face was as glazed over with tears as Inumaro's. She nodded, unable to even raise her head. But I thought Inumaro was technically alive. If it works, it works. With one final, soft, serene flash of light, Sayaka and Inumaro both dissipated into the air and were gone from sight. There we go. I think that was actually an optional scene too, so we could have just left Inumaro hanging this entire game. So I'm glad we actually brought that little chapter to a close. Saving again. Also, I didn't even notice last time. It's Kuon's picture. Yeah, that's an ear, alright. Ugh. My god. Do you believe this? The sound of a monstrous explosion rang out, accompanied by a violent quake that rocked the very foundation of the school. This earthquake had triggered an unfortunate side effect. Oh, the hole connecting to the underground passages had been completely sealed off. This meant that Mochida and the others would have no choice but to find another way out. Well, they have the charge stone, right? I guess I'm reading this. Where are we? Which part of Heavenly Host is this? That's a very good question. Maybe it would be best if we stopped trying to put everything in the context of the old Heavenly Host. Yeah, good idea. I walked from the cart yard to flesh. Either way, the only choice we've got is to climb these stairs, so let's get moving. Another guy who's half the man he used to be. Martuba's tomb researcher, Yuki Fukazawa. Unknown. Various parts of upper body appear to have, or various parts of body, the lower body, appear to have been eaten. We'd managed to escape through the hole before it collapsed and wend our way through numerous passages, finally arriving at the base of the enormous bell tower. Okay, that's something. As soon as we got there, however, there was another huge explosion. The whole school rocked beneath our feet. I was certain the class rep and Aiko must have felt these blasts as well, and could only hope beyond hope that they were both alright. Monstrous explosions continued to echo through the bell tower repeatedly, and violent tremors shook us again and again, seemingly without end.
なんだ
7番目の柱が光ってる。
The Sephiroth of Knowledge was indeed lit up, spewing its disquieting green flames every which way.
愛ちゃん、篠崎さん。
行ってみよう。ナオミ、背負ってく。急ぐぞ。
Okay. Anything down here? Nothing about the damned souls, just we need to get to the top. Alright. Here we are again. We've read that before. Up we go.
遅かったわね。
Hi. The Sephiroth of Knowledge wasn't the only thing to be found at the top of the tower. There, waiting for us on the landing, was Magari Mizuki, holding Satsuki Mizuhara by the neck.
お前
She let go of Satsuki, who tumbled to the ground like a rag doll.
さつきちゃん。生きてる。死にかけてたから連れてきた。アイコも歩み寄り、涅槃の中心へ行ったわ。
なんだって。
人知の及ばない世界よ。皆さん、知識のセフィラが涅槃の目覚めに反応している。この校舎はもう数分のうちに壊れるわ。すぐに幸せの石で帰った方が身のためよ。あなたはどうするの？幸に壊された。
That must be quite strong, because a truck couldn't break those. Magari flashed a bitter smile and showed off the rubble that was once a pair of ever-after stones. She seemed almost proud of what she'd been through. I mean, can't she just come with us? Miss Kuon then produced her custom-made PL promotion stones, which had also seen better days. They were full of cracks with a strange blue gas seeping out here and there.
こちらもなの。霊力がたまるどころかどんどん抜けていく。
マジかよ。クオン先生。
どのみちみんな死ぬ運命だったみたいね。参ったな。バルド、心配してるかな。
Don't know who that is. Magari scratched her head and looked for all the world like she'd resigned herself to her fate. It was a sight entirely unlike her. There wasn't anything we could do at this point but stand there and helplessly watch the pillar pulsate, knowing that it could blow at any moment. And it was then, when we'd all resigned ourselves to our fates as Magari had, that Miss Kuon suddenly looked down at her wristwatch and spoke.
サトシ君、
はい。
君の世界にいた私はいい先生だった？
え？
中島さんが言ってたっけ？確かゆい先生？
はい。君の世界って、なんでそのこと知ってんだよ。
ミスト君も言っていたでしょ。オーラの色でわかるの。あなたたちは違う過去に存在していた人。
確かにゆい先生は面白くてドジで最高の先生だよ。でもクオン先生だってゆい先生と同じくらい優しくて楽しくてさ。
私も先生のこと大好き。
I was still straddling Satoshi's back and could barely form a coherent sentence, but I somehow knew if I were ever to say it, that now would be the time.
ありがとう。
Miss Kuon
後悔
smiled
もいっぱい
brightly.
あったけど、今の言葉で救われたかな。
天才と呼ばれたあんたでもそう思うのね。
計算の技能が早いのといろんな知識が豊富だったのは単に私が異常な脳をしているだけよ。天才とかそんなのじゃない。こんな寿命まで見えてしまう人生にあなたは魅力を感じる？
Oh, that's what that was. Miss Kuon turned her wristwatch so everyone could see it. The counter displayed the number 300, and it was counting down second by second.
その時計。
寿命時計。最後の1秒まで無駄にしたくなくってね。
That would explain why she was gaunt 1 or 2 days ago. Probably. Life clock, a device capable of reading and displaying one's own lifespan. Ordinarily, I wouldn't put any stock in the accuracy of such a ridiculous-sounding contraption. But this was Miss Kuon we were talking about. Thinking back to everything she'd accomplished in the short time we knew her, and all the technology she devised through PL, I couldn't help but believe every word she said. No matter how preposterous those words may have been, nor how much I wished them to be fabrications.
周囲に求められるがままに能力を使って命を削り続けてきたあなたは、肉体年齢は90を超えて寿命が近いって聞いてはいたけど、あの噂は本当だったみたいね。
Miss Kuon smiled and slowly walked over to the pillar.
私がこの柱を破壊するわ。みんな下がって。
She had the other baby tooth from Sachi in her hand.
あの子の霊力があればできる。計算上だけど間違いないはずよ。
クオン先生。
私がいなくなっても あなたたちの人生は続くよ。どんな困難にも負けないで。
先生。
みんな元気でね。
やだ。
I screamed and I cried, I lashed out. This wasn't right. This shouldn't have been the end for her.
中島さん、サトシくんちの温泉は体も心も癒してくれるわ。またゆかちゃんと一緒に入るといいわね。あ、岸沼くんは小テストちゃんと受けること、山崎先生に話してあるからね。
ああ。
やだ、もう二人とも泣かないで。男の子でしょ。早く、もう時間がないわ。柱も私も。やだ、先生、先生。
Still on Satoshi's back as he descended the stairs, I screamed. There had to be another way. There had to be. Magari was the only one left who hadn't said anything yet.
忘れないでおくわ。あんたっていう天才を。マルトゥバは心霊医療から手を引く。
約束してね。
愛子は私が守ってあげる。
And with that, Magari followed us down the stairs, away from the pillar. Once Miss Kuon had confirmed we were all out of range, she pressed her hand, and Sachi's tooth, upon the monolith. She suddenly began to breathe heavier, as if she were running out of air. Her years were physically catching up to her all at once. She began to feel as old as her body appeared. She looked down at her watch. There were only 20 seconds left. With nothing left to hold them back, the tears began to stream down Miss Kuon's face. The counter was down to 10. Miss Kuon's arm began to fuse with the pillar, as if she were being pulled in.
そう思える。なんて幸せなんだろう。
The upper portion of the bell tower lit up with a blinding flash and exploded with tremendous force. The entire school shook harder than ever. Each of us was blown clean off the stairs and knocked unconscious in the process. A piece of Heavenly Host blew out, leaving an enormous crater in its wake. A dimension of empty expanse, bright and white. A world without a single sound. There I stood, dumbfounded. I couldn't speak. Where am I, is what I wanted to say.
先生。
出会えたことがもう奇跡なんだよ。死ぬのは怖くないって思って見ていた私の時計。寿命が来れば消えればいい。それまでただやることをやるって考えて生きてきたの。あなたに出会って生まれて初めて恋をして生きたいって思った時、時計のカウントが減らなくなった。恋っていいね。 別の世界から来たあなたは私と出会った最初の日のこときっと知らないだろうけど、元の世界に戻ったらまた違う先生が君と出会うのかな。ちょっと悔しいけど、私じゃない先生によろしくね。バイバイ。
先生。
My face was coated in tears and snot. I stood up, arm outstretched, but there was nothing I could do. She was gone.
大丈夫、あゆみちゃん。
Ugh.
すごい地震だったわね。急がないと。
Damn. That was depressing. Subutai Junior High Class 3C, Nanako Hayame. Decapitated by door while peering out into hallway. You know, that's a damn shame because that's the kind of thing that I would recommend doing, is not just walking out in case the door shuts, but I guess it'll shut on you too. Oh, there's teeth with probably a tongue down there. You can see something moving. Oh my god, that was heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and save. And I will stop the installment. Well, we certainly made a lot of progress today, didn't we? We're making our way through Chapter 10, and unfortunately we had to lose another amazing teacher again. That was a painful scene to watch. However, she seems to have stopped this seventh pillar, so the immediate Armageddon may have been averted, but we still have our work cut out for us. Ayumi has a job to do, and everyone else, let's hope they're able to find a way out as well. Until next time, everyone.